Hey, good afternoon, friends. Today is Wednesday, February the 26th, 2025, and the time now is 3:04 p.m. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about the situation in the Congo, and I want to provide, okay, or contribute a perspective on the situation in the Congo and the possible consequences long term, especially for people such as Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Now, the situation in Congo continues, and the situation in Congo is an explicit example of what happened when a people, when a continent, when society is fragmented. When society is fragmented, when a country, when a land is fragmented, is destabilized, even the most powerless, the weakest, the smallest states can impose its will on that land, on that people, on that culture. That is actually the history of the Congo. We saw what King Leopold did to the Congo, as large as Congo is in terms of the size, okay, compared to Belgium. Congo is, I think, over 80 times larger than Belgium. And King Leopold ravaged the Congo. We saw what very tiny European countries, okay, did in Africa. Why? Because the Africans are destabilized, they are fragmented. So they were ravaged by European powers. The largest, the most powerful, and the smallest, and the most powerless of them. We are seeing the same thing happening in the Congo, where because Congo is fragmented, is destabilized, we see entities such as Rwanda, okay, impose its will on the Congo. Now, I've said many times, the freedom, the prosperity, and stability of Africa, the unity of Africa, depends on Africans' ability and willingness to, one, change Nigeria, get Nigeria to get its act together. Because Nigeria is the big brother, big sister in the room. When Nigeria is stabilized and when they can get themselves together, Africa is going to be in good hands. The stabilization and the unification of prominent African big brother, big sister countries, such as Ethiopia, Kenya, South Africa, the Congo, Ghana, Senegal, the Sahel state as of now, they are very much prominent. Egypt, Morocco, and so on. The Congo, when Congo is stabilized, when Congo is unified and is peaceful, Africa will blossom. But because now we are seeing the fragmentation of Congo, entities such as Rwanda and people such as Paul Kagame can impose its will. Whether Paul Kagame is protecting and defending Rwanda or not, whether the Rwandans are protecting and defending themselves or not, the skill by which Rwanda can have influence in Congo, in mighty Congo, it is very interesting. But we cannot sleep on Rwanda. It is also a large country in Africa. Yes, small in terms of the size, okay, the landmass, but large in terms of the population. So it is a prominent country. But I do believe, for the sake of unity and prosperity in Africa, once the Rwandans and Paul Kagame realize how much destabilization of Congo means to Africa and to them, Congo and Africa will be stabilized and it's going to be beneficial to Rwanda. But now, Paul Kagame is one of Africa's favorite son in terms of what he did for Rwanda. He changed the history of Rwanda. Rwanda went from being a country that had suffered significantly, okay, from a genocide, to becoming a peaceful, stabilized country. One of the cleanest, the most stable, and one of the most developed, okay, and idealized country on the African continent. However, friends, you have a situation going on in the Congo, which is being stressed to be the influence of Rwanda and Paul Kagame. And as a result, you have Rwanda being bombarded in the West with lots of criticism, where many Africans, despite the fact that they've held Paul Kagame to a highest of esteem, to be one of the champions of Africa, are now stepping back and saying Paul Kagame is causing chaos in the Congo and so causing chaos in Africa. In that case, I think it is not good for Paul Kagame and for the region and for Africa. Because now you have Western countries are coming at Paul Kagame, which they've been criticizing him for a long time, for a while, over the Rwandan genocide. They want to get this guy. With the situation going on in the Congo, as much as Western institutions are to be blamed, it is easy to blame everything on Paul Kagame. In a divided, fragmented, or in an unstable Africa, it is very easy for Western countries to go after Paul Kagame. And friends, honestly, I do believe Paul Kagame, really, he has to be very careful. Yes, he should be working, okay, continuously in developing his country, Rwanda, in promoting the peace and stability and defending Rwanda. But he has to be very careful in Rwanda's influence in the Congo and its position and actions in the Congo. As much as that could destabilize the Congo further, it is not healthy for Rwanda, and it is going to make it easy for Western institutions and countries and governments to come after Paul Kagame, which in this case is going to leave Africa with a broken heart. The situation with Paul Kagame is kind of like a dad, a big brother. Every young man, every young woman to an extent idealized their fathers and their big brothers, their uncles, and so on, their male family members. As for young kids, especially boys, dad, papa is always the superhero in the stories. Because of that, I have said to myself, I do not want to see myself get beat up while my kids watch. Because I do believe, okay, it can lead to some kind of psychological and emotional trauma for that kid who've always held daddy to the highest of esteem. It's kind of like what Paul Kagame is when and should Western institutions and countries and government come at him. Because as of now, as much as the situation in Congo is also being blamed, okay, or referred to, or to attribute to be the responsibility of Paul Kagame in Rwanda. Paul Kagame is also held to the highest of esteem by Africans all over the world and throughout the African continent for what he has done with Rwanda. And I do believe it is going to be painful should Africans experience a situation where the West comes at Paul Kagame, Africa is weak to do anything about it, and the dream and the pride that Rwanda has become for Africa to go in vain, to be bombed, to be destroyed by Western countries, institutions, and governments. Now, friends, please tell me what you think, and I really want to know what you think. But, friends, I'm going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, and most especially and most importantly, friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.